So I started another video. I just sent a Twitter and I put it at Bama, and I sent it to the first Bama I could find. Bama broker. Great. And have drawn the parallax of understanding that that's what Bama is doing. Just takes a hyphenated stab at it where he left doft to pass a doft all over the place. He could get it pitched back, hyphenated, the same way he sent it. And so I'm thinking in my own parallax, I could just take a stab at it too and can find a doft. Doft can say, you know, oh, you didn't mean me, but what I can find is I can put my repute on too. I could put my repute on no matter what you say or don't say now. So I just have to send it to you. K-N-E-W-E A-D. Nude. You looked. Haha. And it's not my fault you weren't thinking of two. My courage is only sought and slot. T parentheses 0 F by F for two, for forte, for or EWE AD. I wouldn't want you to miss a thing, Bama, so you can spout toft. So, backing it up, my toft is not your dour toft, all right? You might want to check my reference, ea.ven. This is not trial balance by God, by bigot. You get to bring your own example. You get to sell yourself on the same line, the same time, the same hind, and the same time. That's why I'm extending myself on the line. I'm going out on a limb. You can jump in anytime you want to, but please understand, I've never been paid for my honesty, so you can't honestly break or rake it to an-d-oft, and doft, stupid, can't proclaim. He made it. Toft. You know what I'm saying? So the only defense you have to be a pestilence on me is to stay anonymous. Which I don't think is, I mean, if we take that to the polls and the elections, you know, you should not be casting a vote when there's no dewe, D-E-W-E, in your temple to pursue. Oh yeah, Rich, say hi to Sue for me. Rich, sister, is Sue. She does not want you bedwetting on her. I'm speaking for the dewe. The dews, D-E-W-E. A-D. In case you missed that the first time you pissed on me. The first time you thought you would piss on me, I think you were misunderstood. Your piss does not matter to me. You viewing me does not change the world. Because you are not the world, Bama. You're not the word, thus you're not the world. You are not the L in the word of world, where L is the right angle to love, even dunder sunder stood. If you cared to have a review, you would already know this. And you would have brought Tit with you. There's something very rude about I should fit some forum with hyphens in it. I have my own meta, and the irony is, you, Bama, representing any fill-in-the-blank jacked off to two toft, do not have a meta. You don't follow anything I do. It does not mean anything to you because you're not two in process and product. You're only standing a vain tooth on me to call more doffs to show. Hyphenated. Look what I can do. It's hyphenated. Yes, I eat. Imagine that. I have a meta. I've been into sandwiches that don't sate. And I don't think it's pretty either. And when I say I don't think it's pretty, I'm thinking of you, Bama. Okay? Fuck that. Just because you're go odd, do a foot doft to two toft, straight trait, pays you. And you're paid to remain hyphenated two odd date, to think you're gonna two odd the do, E-E-W-E with hyphens. And you read fucking magazines that put hyphenated clothing on women bought by war, hyphen T, your wart, that if you put it on, you can take it off. You can't take it off. Legit time me, mately, here. You can't take it off here because you didn't supply here to be H-E-I-R. We're speaking a different language here for a reason. Even, not eve.ven, and not thief-end. So, what it comes down to, you and your test state, you're presuming your test state has the right as reason and desire even to remain doffed. It's not go odd enough. As sought or taught, where A-G-A-U-G-H-T is 0. Again, my meta, not yours, hero. Hyphen D-E, hyphen. The hero rode doffed, okay? I eat a lot. UT's ass. A hyphenated lot. And these are the only text things we can expect from you. Stay tuned. Give me your address. I'll show you what comes out the other end and send it to you. T-O-Y-E hyphen W-E hyphen. To toy you? Yeah. You think you're toying me? That you're just a distraction. You can never lend value. By your own reduction. You never cared. You never cared. And you never cared to, in process and product, even through, to be aware. To be aware. To be aware. You're not aware. You're a war hyphen T. You're a wart. And you only too toft to have people stare at you. And if it's not to have people stare at you, is to help doft understand he can stand doft tone 2 by 2 supported by your BM you used. If my video froze up, all that was in quotations to illustrate what you see is not the value it speaks of. Because if it can't solve value here, it didn't bring it all along. Go fucking teat yourself, you dud. So now I'm rebuilding my website. I'm going to bicycle-led Doft, where someone put on here, do you have any friends? And I mean, do you mean friends like Bama that you're talking to be around to and process and product through? If my video froze up, I was using quotations again. You don't really care to be here on the line that represents you. To sell your time and your tine and your line and your hind. You don't care. So you're passing Doft. May I introduce you, bicycle fucking thiefing woman to Toft? Why don't you go find Bama and see what you can create among yourselves? All hyphenated. I think the only refinery you're going to get out of that is hell, because he has no contract with D-E-W-E-A-D. Any more jacked off questions, we can see you're just posing the question to ask Jack Doft. Tone on me. So go ask Jack Doft, tone yourself. Start a fucking little blog by yourself and just put it out there and have people try and pay you to sell your buy-cycle Doft bullshit. Honestly, I think it's easier to see in the hyphenated marketplace that's competing for no reason. They might find value in your fiction. Oh, even friction, all right? So you can bed Doft. Because Doft isn't really that discriminating as hyphenated saw or Toft. That you're getting your bigot, your bigot, and your spigot from for not thinking it through. You're thinking NIT through. Because you're the nit and you're throwing. So stop throwing and I will think less of Sue. I will think less of you pursuing evaluate, E-W-E-A-D, you didn't bring 2 by 2. And I know that. There's other people on the end that know that also. So at some point, your anonymity should be relegated to a sire ironic misnomer, but misnomer, N-O-M, is present, prescient, client, even, in one, T-H-R, tone, hone, and throne. This only leads me and anyone else to presume your anonymity is stupid ass cum. At some point, anonymity is going to be seen for what it is and not really any yet thing. And so if you want to be something more stupid ass cum, you'll have to present your face as meaning some met thing. Tin, hinge, and thing. All at the same time, one-on-one. And I know where you're going to find your one-on-one. So evade and deflect all you want. Because you have a toy want, you don't care to grow up. Even if you've grown a nuptial, it's hyphenated. Because you're dallying with war, -T, to restore the wart. So it's someone else, because you pass a Doft, they can abort. Asking me if I have any friends when you can't sell L is really like, I can't get enough of myself. That was in quotations. case my video froze up. Fuck. Posing a fucking question on me. 2 by 2? I don't think so. You don't have to ask if I have any friends if you are one. For Jesus Christ, fuck's sake, shit's sake, fuck's sake too. Do something that matters, even through. Your lack of self-esteem that you can't repair on your own dumbass throne, hyphenated, is not my problem to show. But your need, hyphenated, does need D-O. So you show me it, and I'm going to try and find who you are and put your face on N-I-T. Sorry, put your knit face on K-N-I-T, meaning I'm going to pull it to my frame. And now, if you want a better mark on an honest ledger, you're going to have to pay me to update it. It's no different in what you would presume to do to me as calling it your capacity in thoughtfulness, where you only give a sty-eyed an ID hyphenated defer rent hyphen CE and call it common era. You have not produced a value. Your intention is to only sty the eye that you can daft afford. What you only have in the marketplace is hyphens, tooting off about being the heir to be aware, but they can't produce. And that needs to be understood. Saying what you would do is not good enough anymore. The fact is, the value of the matter is you can't produce. And that needs to be understood with your own fucking name in the marketplace. I can't produce. Any word I say is not really a legit time, me, ate, and mate value. Legit, legit. Leg, IT. Put that out there. Go into business, hyphen T. Anything I put out there is not really legitimate. I would like to pretend I have an ego that means every yet thing, and I would like to pretend that I have the capacity to think of a way to evolve low of, because currently I rent the cur and I pass the cur and call it a cure onto someone else to beat off tone of all over the place, so I could get some hyphenated me one eye backed. Back in black, hyphenated at that, but it's really just passing the top hat that shat toff that he would add doff to be blacked. Backed and blacked, hyphenated to tit every fucking female that hyphenates X is. Hyphen T exists. Hyphenated. Be doffed. T hyphen B hyphen S hyphen spoken. Doffed has no capacity to lend. It has no capacity to tend by desire. It has no capacity to mend. It doesn't know how. Because it didn't care to. And he met how. Toe, how, and dow. Didn't care to. So what else have we got to say for you being spoken out loud, except that it's lout? Regarding Bama, as an example, you dud dude, you screwed dudes, all hyphenated, to pursue what to you. And you need to stay with the dudes, you frame and doft, two, and doft tone two, and doft tone through, until you can honestly screw E-W-E-A-D. That is by right, right as reason and as desire in life, even, which you doft, to toft, did not bring through your L-O-T. When you ask you and go knocking, I suggest as my guest, you be are in. Bring and ring. You be in. You bring. If you knock asking, you better bring. Be the ring in. This dum-dum is in honor of you, Bama, for no, zero, or. You can't pass on two. I can eat a dum-dum, but that does not make me a dum-dum missus to soothe or sooth your tooth. You're dum-dum because you want dum-dum missus to pursue you for no reason too. So should I shit honestly on you? You could be like, oh, look at her, she's not polite. Why would you say that? So that dum-dum missus can think that you are bright. You're bright to dum-dum missus, but you're not bright to time for completion even. And honestly, you are not prime. In that you pose yourself as prime with no identity to sap ply, AD, or EID without hyphens. What can we say? You're standing dup the missus for another, an anno hyphenated day. I'm checking in and out on my video, so you'll find me repeating things, but I'm just strolling through where I left off on my, well, I'm building the website, and I've got a buttload of Twitter to put up. And it looks like where I left off was with Richard Branson, Twitter feed August 5th for me. Today's the 9th. And so I was asking him, if he's going to put a mark on Mars, the little red planet. Oh, aren't I funny to be as me arse sap app planet. A planet is a sphere that has no aberrations. That would be my layman's term to explain it without actually looking it up. It's A-P-P-L-A-N-A-T. We could call it A-P-P, sap and app, A-P-P-L-A-N, parentheses A-T, where A is a determiner, fundamentality. Fundamentality. Get that off the ground. The cursor's fucking up today. Can't get the little cursor to move. I'm like, give me a lever. Just give me a fucking lever. A lever to the ass screw debt together. There. Isn't that what you have already in the competitive marketplace? A lever to ask and task the screw. Debt together. Dum-dums are so slow. You presume to have, I'm not pretty when I eat. You should see me when I don't have manners for you. To hand out to. Working my computer so slow. I'm wondering if I should rebate my Apple Mac. Back to Tim Cook tit. To be black. Back in black. Tooth at that. I know you could say it's not Tim Cook's fault that my computer's slow because I don't turn it off to restart it, but the point is I'm doing work on it and I don't want to shut it off because I might lose that work. And all the little nads and ads that pop up on me and update it and then don't allow my iPhone to connect to it. And I have to like jump through hoops to use my phone as a phone. Like, for instance, do you trust this computer? I'm like, what do you fucking think? Mac iPhone to Mac computer? What do you fucking think? Since you updated yourself, no, you have to ask me questions every time I want to use my phone. And then you want to ask me if I want to connect to iTunes. And I'm like, no, I don't. Because of all the iTunes money I've spent on money and all the Mac computers I bought, you don't let me use my music anymore because of the other computers I bought. So I'm really paying you to drop kick me for no reward. Can't connect this to the computer, both Macs. I have to jump through hoops. Sometimes it's not recognize my fingerprint, so I have to put in a code. And do I trust this computer? Yes, I do. Do I want it to connect to iTunes? No, I fucking don't. Your iCloud storage is almost full. I don't want iCloud storage, but I jumped through your hoops to not have it for my email handle that I've had since the first Bondi Blue. And what that does is it forsakes my vision to make a product on a revision of looking into a Mac computer, meaning I don't get to use my Mac handle and have that web address connect to my Mac computer unless I pay their little dropkick user fee to store it on iCloud, which I don't know. I don't want. I have a fucking computer. I don't need my email stored on iCloud. What the fuck? So in essence, you spouting off about Mac, how ingenious the bear is drop kicking you for no reward. So they conceptualize a product you look into. Now you have to pay to stare and make a mark that is going nowhere with any THEART because it didn't start there. HEIR. HEREAD. To be fair and square. For Jesus Christ, God's sake. Was waiting for my computer, forgot where I was. My computer freeze. Dup and nup. Doesn't matter very much. This competition is for dup and nup. And that's why your shit does not go together. Even. It goes together ea.ven. -t. I'm not that. Well, you're still dallying with wart, and you're passing doff to get abort. Abort hinged doft. Now, the only continuity your ego OT hyphenated overtime has is on Doftman's penmanship. To pass a dup and dup and ass and nup and pup and everything else that comes up. Dumb, bum, cum, crumb, B, E, -D. It's not me. Okay. I called the insurance company because I got something in the mail and I had a question about it because I'm not used to looking at insurance papers because I've only had insurance for a year in my entire lifetime as an independent person. And so I had questions. What does this mean? How do I look at this? How do I... You're giving me a lot of information. I don't know what it is. And can you tell me what I need to pay attention to? I.e., do I owe you something? Or somebody? That's what I want to know. Because I was told that this wouldn't be an issue, having already paid out of pocket. And so to break it down, it's something for my records. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of hewing of trees, which we think would be modestly beneficial, I guess. The only problem is that they don't have my address correct. They've transposed the numbers. So I called them again, having called them previously. It is a good thing my mailman knows that I'm at 72 Oak Street and not 27. Because you have my address as 27, and the insurance company can look and see, oh, we made a note that you called in to have it changed. I'm like, yeah, well, it's clearly going to 27 first. And they'll tell me, well, you need to call healthcare.gov, or COM, the healthcare provider, Obamacare. And I'm like, but okay, fine. So I called them and they tell me I have to call the agent. I call the agent. They tell me I have to call them. And I'm like, I can't be a jackass for y'all. I'm like, take this note down in my file where you put the other note. I've called to change my address. If you can't change my address and I do not receive your mail, then so be it. Okay? You've got my address. You've got the person present that lives at that address. And if you can't update your file, it's your own fault. Okay? So I'm just going to presume if you need to send mail to me and I can't get it, maybe you should check the notes in there. Well, I got to go back and forth, and then Gov told me to call agent and to have a three-way. I'm like, really? This is after Gov told me to call the agent and to say they can transpose the numbers because they put them in. But agent said Gov put them in that way. And I have to foot the bill between these two people if it's just not my time, but just like, for God's sake, fuck. Somebody just please fuck. Honestly, what the fuck? So what happened? Yeah, all right. So I'm Little Miss Polite with the southern twang, which honestly, if you ask me, is not very polite. It doesn't sound polite. It sounds a bit saccharine and forced through a little okay, but like, kind of like you would think, like if you took like something, a plastic balloon, and pulled it really taut and let a little air out, it goes okay, kind of like a stack kind of like that. I'll dial it down because I'm polite and retailing my tale. So look, she said that she could change that for me, but I'd have to be on the line for 20 minutes because I have to go through my whole online submission. Now I could go get online, but I'm like, I can't get online right now. And I wanted to get in the shower. I don't want to wait fucking 20 minutes. So besides that, I'm like, what questions are you going to ask me? And I'm like, you know what? I don't have that information in my head It's in your document, okay? So what I'm going to tell you, that you want to keep me online so you could ask me this, so you could change my address, so you could theoretically send me mail without nailing me to Dow hyphen with woo hyphen D. Doft tone. By the wayside. Bride. I'm going to just say, yes, 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 I think so, whatever. Just get to the end where you change my address. Because I don't have that content in my head anymore. Okay? And furthermore, I'm like, I don't want to wait 20 minutes. I can't do this. And she's like, well, we can't change your address. And I'm like, you need to call them. I'm like, I already called them. They told me to call you. You told me to call them. They told me to call you. You told me to call them and have a three-way. They said they couldn't do a three-way. Fuck. They couldn't do a three-way. So I'm like, put this in my note again. I called you. And you wanted me to go jacked off tone on myself? No, I want you to put it in my file. I called you. You told me to call them. They told me to call you. You told me to call them. They told me to call you to have a three-way. You said you can't have a three-way. And I'm letting you know, for the record, this really is my address. If you wouldn't mind updating it, that'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. So what happened, Little Miss Southern Belle hyphen D Doft? I'm like, I'm not waiting 20 minutes. I'm not waiting fucking 20 fucking minutes fucking more. And I'm not being fucking polite about it anymore. To restore your sword, that which clearly has no reference to being polite, because you're the bride Britain Doft, okay? You're a bride and a bide Britain and a bid Britain Doft, okay? I did not say as much. I just intoned it. I'm not doing this shit anymore. And what happened? Well, she jacked off on me, saying that she's trying to update my address, and I'm like, this will not do. Your toad and load will not do. Okay. To be present to even screwed the nail I desire to pursue. And would have the means to do. So, what happened? The three-way went bad in Southern Belle's estimation. She'd be a nad and dad, did Doft. And a bit named, same amen, Doft. She said, now, like, look, they hung up because you were basically bad. And I'm like, I want to talk to a superior, because I'm going to put this note in your file. But I let her know first. They hung up because you are ineffective. Okay? That's all there is to it. And then I got to talk to a supervisor, Jill, and it went a whole lot better. She escalated my desire to have my address transposed at the agent. So she sent a memo, and I did not have to jump through hoops of 20 minutes going through my form already done online to finally get to the point to change my address. It's so banal that I'm present, and it's like, no, we can't consult you. What the fuck? We cannot consult you as we screw would have, dude. Fuck. Dude done, doing it too. As with your tune. Your fortune. Anyway, that was interesting, I guess. as I watched my fucking lice in the glass live beyond any annotated time. I will keep you updated how long that lice survives. 4 days, roughly estimated. I think it's more like 6, maybe even longer. I could only prove 4 right now. I wish my God can do a foot doffed. By that I meant DOF-T, to by got hyphen T, OT, overtime, for no reason. If you're a thief, you can only always supply the lie to hyphenated someone else besides dudes. Oh, besides you. Besides you, hyphen. Starting my video again. My phone is for jacked off. I get no leisure out of my phone. My phone does not return my own. C row and-d. C row ROW and-d n sound DOF. Sound LY. A suffix for relationship when you stuff it. Apparently, to, tool, land, die, your eye, and dine in your hind. No doff need apply. Apple eye. No need no doffed, stupid person, need apple eye. APP, your app, parentheses EA, each, L, E, language engineering. I have taken no doffs to be my height, even. So you should go be doffed tone on your own site with hyphens. Fuck me dry, Jesus. Fuck. Fuck me dry, Jesus. Can't get my cursor, get anything up. Fuck. Fuck, said the head full of welt to the Tourette's on the shelf. I wanted to comment on the bug that's living beyond annotated time. I'm saying it's 4 days conservatively because I'm remembering the last time I combed my hair, but it could be more like 6. It's only 4 days that I've observed it in the glass. Well, from recognizing it under my comb and the last time I did the comb out. But I put it at 4 days, conservatively, thinking it could be as far as 6, but it actually could be farther, in the sense there's only one question that begs between the gaps in the tines on my comb. That bug is a full-grown bug. It's the size of a sesame seed or a flax seed. I should have seen that. So how did it get in my ceramic bowl that it can't get out of a glass? It had to come from the comb. I should have seen that between the tines, if it was in between the tines, and where else would it be? On the comb? So my only other question is the possibility, did it grow up under my comb? Because that's where I saw it. It's like, it's under my comb. Got a lice under my comb. So the only meta I have for answering that is your Christ is fiction. And but our words are not. So given time, someone would supply. Someone, SOMETONE. Our words are not fiction to those that D-O-B, do zero, innocence and reflection, to observe, listening, list, n, 10, and send it, ea.ven. En is your width you occupy on the page. 10 is X in Roman numerals, 1 and 0. As a totem to beam, B-E-A-M-E, parentheses A, a determiner in reality, ID. MEID is a void. I suggest it's 0. ID instead of jacked off, hero, heroded off to deadhead, to add doffed again, because so he could have his hind backed for no reason. He lent it that way. Did I emphasize that enough? It. He lent tit. He lent tit that way. The reason you would need, well, it begs to answer why. Why would you need a reflection? Why would you need the third person? Third. Why would you make something up? A God, a Christ, a Savior. And why would you spin it directionally? Because you need 3. It's not enough to have 2. You need 3 to make it go somewhere. Even 2 or ea.ven 2 with hyphens. What we have are hyphens right now. Not one of them are the heir, H-E-I-R, i.e. what we have are thiefens right now. I've simply engineered a way, a language, a forum, a framework and fretwork, a parallax to see who eats their seat, to have a table, and blessed, less stable, AD. Less AD would be the value of 0, no thing, K-N-O-W-E. T, parentheses, H-I-N, tin is your money, hinge, your mouth. You can speak where you put your money. I'm eating again. I feel so good eating without a doft. I can't imagine anything more beautiful than to not cast doft, D-O-F-T. Second most beautiful thing is to not cast doff tone, even on my enemy. Did I mention there's not any stinky thing I can't do and come out smelling like a rose because you ass are spoken through, hyphenated dudes. Your value is an image for no reason. You can't reduce consciousness. T-B. Trig height. B. Rig height. Tisk. T-I-S-K-N-O-T. Tisk not my fault. You don't carry, do. OMG, I'm fucking eating again. Because I want to. Seriously, what sort of twit says that to anyone? You're so pretty. Fuck you. You only wish you can screw, AD. But you can't, so you askew, alright? Penalty. I feel like eating in front of you. And I'm darn tooting going to. Ha. Come here. I want you to go right here. Here. That's for you. Right there. Stay, cutie pie. Stay. Alright, so Let me see if I can wrap something up for tomorrow. iPhone is not sensitive in certain places for its touch, among other things. Among other things, the frame and doft. That's why they keep framing ending doft, is because the frame and doft. The frame is doft, okay? It's thief and doft. What's interesting about stupid Bama posting on me for no reason to actually be anybody? As a man I'm pursuing, he's judging me that I'm not pretty when I eat, because honestly, what woman would twit that, okay? Twit and twat that. That's like, you know, you're just one short step away from psychosis. Your psychosis, your dementia, calling it it's self-fiction, okay? What's interesting about that is, what's interesting to consider, when you put something like that on me, it's very obvious you are not the beauty, you did not bring the beauty, and you're not intending to speak to the beauty, okay? And in that I could eat your shell for no reason to actually sell the L, the right angle to love, I can eat everyone else's dishonest shell as well, who dangled just because, hyphen. Now what this means as a man is, your penalty is for jacking doff on me for my appearance for no reason is you get to face a scrutiny now that you aren't ever just right or ever just bright on your own. I eat your shell for no reason to sell the L, and now every with O-M-E-N-D gets to look at your ass and be like, that's just a jacked off snail son's tail, okay? And having that as your origin, you never ever get to make your appearance a value, E-W-E-A-D. You don't ever get to. And having that now as your own provision to live in, what you get to do with it, well, it doesn't matter because you'll never be 2 by 2. So therefore, you're concerned with your image for no reason. You're narcissistic for no reason. You angle righteousness and rationality that you didn't bring, so you're thief end. You're addicted to your own persona non grata. You didn't care to bring, and You're content to be jacked off. And if that's what you seem, we're still going to, as women, we're still going to find a judgment against you. You just shouldn't show up. So what's kind of interesting is women get to live that in your frame and doft parallax, which hasn't been thoroughly identified and pinpointed. Toft, that he would trickle, rickle, lead down. Doft. Okay, so you get to wear this sort of, you're never going to be right. Trial balance is in my sight, and sig. Sight. SIG is your signature. So there's some irony there, sire irony. You may be seeing the last of your anonymous or in-person narcissistic attempts to be persona non grata, where no honest zero innocence and reflection can be found among you, Jew, goo, G-EWE- you showy worthless thing. Be it your tin, it's hyphenated, or your hinge, it's hyphenated, or your thing, which is definitely in quotation marks. We'll see whose bag gets to screw. Who? Hoo-ha. I did not ask you to be doft tone on me, so let's keep that in mind. At any given time, for completion, your love of doft, as stupid as your God, you cast lots on, you cast toft, okay, that he would add doft, I did not supply. Keep that in mind. It's mine. You did not supply doft, and you're all frame and doft. And you standing doft tone on me, you're simply aiding my theory to forecast presciently is nowhere found among any of you men. Thus your error, H-E-I-R, and your law, for no reason, has no do, an E-W-E. And if you have no do, I have to ask you, what are you living for? Besides your image to get laid and to screw. Hyphen. Dudes to each other. Which seems to be the obvious thing that you're doing. You want to get sex for no reason. So how do you get sex for no reason? Put hyphens around the sex so that the woman's always in question. It's not going to be the case here. My time's not in question, and neither is my frame. To question it is to show that you are vain. V-A-I-N. To continue to question it shows that you desire irrationally to be seen for no reason. You do not carry rationality. You do not carry faith. You do not carry spirit, notably, to the face and trace the race, A-C-E, a common era, A-D. I did not implore doft stupid to be on me. fact, all this work is to do quite the opposite, so Doft can recognize himself from the pack, -t. He's a tit, a partoft. So